shopping. Crusaders, we're the shopping. Crusaders, we're the shopping. Crusaders, of that we're pretty sure of.
We Crusaders were on our way back to the Toxie dump with our day's supply of food. You can work up a real appetite being a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength, except for Junkyard. He put himself on a special diet.
My doctor said to cut down on red meat. He never said anything about white bones.
Makes sense to me.
Thunder, have a little brain food for your very little brain.
Meanwhile, a short distance away, Mayor Grody had just opened up another of his money-making scams. It was a stink bomb factory. Mayor Grody always was on the cutting edge of progress. To make the stink bombs, some radiation rangers were throwing old tires onto a fire. Other rangers were burning old movie films. And believe me, some of them were real stinkers. The problem was, the factory was right next door to another of the mayor's moneymakers, Grody's home for golden oldies. Which is when we came on the scene.
Look! Those poor old codgers are being bombarded with secondhand smoke from the stink bomb factory.
Why, that's doggone unfair.
Toxic Crusaders to the rescue!
I'll handle this. Major disaster. Some ragweed, if you don't mind.
A little ragweed is what we need.
Yeah, up you go, Granny.
Oh, thank you for saving our lives. Now get off the lawn! Bad dog! Bad dog!
Sometimes it ain't easy being man's best friend.
Toxic Crusaders, it's cleanup time!
Radiation Rangers, I might have known.
Let's chill out these dudes! Whoa, you left two of them standing, man.
Don't blame me, you're the one who goofed.
At ease, headbanger. I'll handle this.
We got...
Yes! It's a simple 7-10 split.
Fellas, let's fix this factory so it can no longer pollute our unsullied Tromaville air.
Not bad, Junkyard, but watch this.
And the winners are Bender and Fender.
Why do you think they call us Headbanger?
Uh-oh, troops. Time to sound retreat.
The kindly old folks were so grateful we tore down the factory that they invited us to stay for dinner.
Thanks to you, there's plenty of food to go around. We can use this last burning tire to barbecue some rice pudding.
Yeah, we'll even lend you some teeth to chew it with.
And afterwards, we can sit around and watch an old movie. I hear this one's pretty hot.
You folks are real kind, but we wouldn't dream of taking the food out of your mouths.
And especially not the teeth.
Oh, yuck. Ugh.
Just then, who should come driving by but Mayor Grody?
My beautiful profit-making stink bomb factory! Totally destroyed! What could have happened to it?
Well, it could have burned to the ground.
Or it could have been blown over by the wind.
Or it could have been in an earthquake.
But it was none of the above. We Toxic Crusaders knocked it down because it was polluting the air.
Emitting dangerous hydrocarbons into our atmosphere.
Which just plays havoc with the plant life.
To say nothing of what it does to my allergies.
You haven't heard the end of this, and you haven't seen the end of me.
Yes, we have, dude. And it's not a pretty sight.
That's when Mayor Grody decided to call on that smiling ambassador and all-round bad guy, Dr. Kill-Em-Off.
Kill him off. You gotta help me get rid of them toxic Crusaders. Then you'll be free to pollute Tromaville to your heart's content.
That's right. And then I can bring in my hordes of smuggling countrymen.
And country women. don't forget the country women.
Brody, you've got a deal. As you Earthlings say, one hand washes the other. You're in luck, Brody. I have a scheme for disposing of the toxic Crusaders that we haven't tried yet.
You say you want a truck that's rugged yet comfortable, huh? Luxurious yet basic, cheap yet expensive, powerful yet weak, fast yet slow, huh? And most of all, it's gotta be big. How about this two-ton, two-tone job? Isn't she a beauty? Bigger. Oh, this one? Bigger. All right then, this one.
Let me explain. We're looking for a truck that's capable of crushing and crunching and mangling and squashing a shack, along with all of its occupants to a pulp.
Oh, a recreational vehicle. Why didn't you say so? Gents, I've got just what you're looking for. It was owned by a little old lady who only drove it in destruction derbies. So, what do you think of this baby?
It's perfect. We'll take it.
A wise decision. Would you like to have it gift wrapped?
No, thanks. We prefer to deliver it ourselves.
I'll drive.
And now, these messages. We now return to the Toxic Crusaders. Oh, the ankle bone's connected to the knee bone bone's connected to the leg bone.
Meanwhile, at the toxic dump, Junkyard was laying in a store of bones for the winter when he suddenly came across something.
Well, what do you know? What have we got here? Whatever it is, it's darn heavy. Well, I'll be doggone. It's a car. Kind of. Well, fellas, what do you think?
Whoa, wheels! I can truly dig it.
You're too late. Junkyard already dug it. Although why he did, I'll never know.
Fellas, I just thought of something. We could rebuild this thing and turn it into a free cab service.
Right, and help all those less fortunate citizens of Tromaville who can't drive.
Yes, like sick people who are confined to their beds.
Or teenagers who've been grounded.
Or scofflaws whose cars have been towed away.
Or short folks whose feet don't reach the pedals.
Why, we could go on for hours.
I think we just did. With all of us pitching in, pretty soon our cab was starting to take shape. Fortunately, it wasn't the shape of a cab, but we couldn't afford to be fussy.
I think I got the engine working. All right, a perfect fit.
These are the only tires I could find, Toxie. One from a car, one from a truck, one from a bicycle, and one from a kiddie car. I chased them all personally.
Like I said, we couldn't afford to be fussy. Even Mom pitched in, an old couch.
This will make a great back seat for a great backseat driver.
Finally, it was finished, and we were ready for the big unveiling.
Like ready, man?
Set,
Go!
There's something familiar about this thing.
Naturally, darling boy. It's got your face.
But it's got my nose.
Bender created a special fuel made from a combination of garbage and septic groundswell for the cab to run on. Then it blows it out as exhaust in the form of sweet-smelling, life-giving oxygen. Now it was time to give our car a name. Everybody had a different suggestion.
Yeah, how about Spot?
Or General MacArthur.
Or Schnazzola.
or Garibaldi.
Or just plain old Baldy.
Forget it! I've already got the name. We'll call it Toxie Cab.
Toxie
No,
Cab.
no.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
On second thought, I love it.
Totally perfecto moniker.
It has a certain bite to it.
Top-notch choice.
Then Toxie Cab it is.
Wow, boss, this thing is humongous.
I needed something to make up for your mini-sized brains. Because you two Yutzes are going to drive it to the Tromaville dump and crush the Toxic Crusaders once and for all.
We are?
And it's only the beginning. From there, we'll start crushing all over the world.
Sounds like fun, but how do we get way up there?
Simple. Now, practice driving that thing.
You're right, boss.
Do you suppose this is some sort of poetic payback for my always playing dirty?
We let Mom have the privilege of test driving the Toxie cab, out of respect for her age and her tender gender. Mostly because she was the only one who had a driver's license.
Way to go, Toxie's mom! Put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, peel that latex substance obtained from the sap of a tropical tree.
It was then that we learned a painful lesson about the Toxie cab. It was a convertible. At least it was painful for poor Toxie cab. We also learned that because Toxie cab had spent years buried in that toxic ooze, it had developed certain mutant abilities. Like avoiding potholes. That afternoon, I planned a real romantic surprise. Boy, Yvonne won't believe it when I take her for a spin in our new Toxie cab.
Whoa, Tox man, here she comes now.
Must you always be such a snitch?
Now remember, fellas, not a word about the Toxie cab.
Don't worry, Toxie. Our lips are zipped.
We'll keep your secret no matter how much she knows is around.
Gesundheit.
Oh, John, I wanted to surprise you.
You too? Man, what a coincidence.
Idiot!
Is there something going on I should know about?
No, something you shouldn't know about. You see, oops.
Toxie, what is going on here?
I can't tell you.
How dare you keep secrets from me?
Well, you see, that is,
Well, if that's the way you feel, goodbye.
Yvonne was so upset, she went to visit Madame Gazanga, the locally franchised gypsy of the nationwide chain of fortune-telling parlors.
So, before we begin, you want I should talk like the way I'm talking now? Or do you wish me to speak like Raja Gabor? That costs $3 extra.
I really prefer the accent, but I gotta count my pennies.
Whatever you say, lady. Okay, so, what's on your mind?
My boyfriend Toxie is acting real peculiar, and I want to know why.
All right, let's see what the old crystal ball shows. I see the problem. The guy found a new interest. She looks to be like about a 20-year-old model, with a really classy chassis.
So that's it. He's found another lady.
Oh, no, she's no lady. She's up.
Stop! Don't say it. I don't want to hear it.
And I thought people in Brooklyn were weird.
Poor Yvonne. She mistakenly thought I'd fallen for another woman.
No. Men, you can't trust them as far as you can throw them. I think there's a song in that. And it goes something like this. Oh, you can't trust a man as far as you can throw him, and you just can't ever throw him far enough. First he'll tell you there's no other, then he'll dump you for another. He'll be gone before the going gets tough. Oh, yeah. Baby.
That evening, I pulled up at Yvonne's house to take her for a surprise ride. But instead, I was the one who was surprised. It was a goodbye note with no forwarding address.
Dear Toxie, au revoir, adios, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen, and a lot of other words that begin with the letter A. I never want to see you again. Loving kisses, Yvonne.
Oh, no!
And now, these messages. We now return to the Toxic Crusaders.
Good old Toxie cab came in real handy for the housebound folks of Tromaville. We used it for just about everything. From delivering groceries to shut-ins, to dropping kids off at school, to taking pets to the vet, to driving little old ladies to bingo games, and driving little old men to the little old ladies. As for me, I was too worried about Yvonne to join in the fun. Maybe she was in some kind of trouble. I was one sad sack of toxic turf. If it wasn't for Mop and Blobby, I don't know what I would have done. Meanwhile, in the Tromaville City Hall, Mayor Grody was also suffering.
Kill him off! What's taking so long with your plan? That non-profit taxi cab those Crusaders are operating is cutting into my profits.
Grody, what are you blabbering about?
All those good deeds they're doing free, I used to charge those old geezers for.
Your troubles will soon be over. The Crusader Crusher is on its way to Tromaville now. All right, boathead, drive it on board.
Okay, boss, we're ready to roll.
I thought this sort of thing only happened in cartoons.
Back at the toxic dump, my mind was still on Yvonne when the Crusaders returned from doing their good deeds.
Come on, Toxie. Let's drive over to the baseball field and look for diamonds.
No, you fellas go without me. I'm too upset about Yvonne missing.
Poor Toxie. This Yvonne thing has hit him like a ton of bricks.
2,000 pounds is more like it.
Like I've always said, love is for the dogs.
But Dr. Killamoff hadn't given up yet. He was still determined to crunch us Crusaders.
Neat idea, huh? Flying us in for a sneak air attack.
Yeah, but what if someone touches the wrong button and we get dropped?
Don't be stupid. Which button is gonna do that?
I don't know. Could be eeny, meeny, miny, or even Mo here.
I found myself in downtown Tromaville, where Yvonne and I had spent so many happy hours together. It was pure torture. Everywhere I looked, I saw her face before me. I couldn't escape it. She was everywhere. I was at the breaking point. I knew I needed professional help. Suddenly, there it was, Madame Gazonga's fortune-telling parlor.
Fellas, we're under attack by Bonehead and Psycho, driving the biggest truck I've ever seen. How come my doghouse is always the first thing to go?
Don't sweat it, troops. We'll counterattack with our own combat vehicle. Stop that truck! Fine thing. Desertion in the face of danger.
Bummer, dudes. Instead of a checker cab, we've got a chicken cab.
Fellas, looks like we're gonna have to handle this thing ourselves.
Everywhere I look, I see my girlfriend's face. It's horrible. Look, there it is now.
Oh, Amy, Possum!
Oh, you're right. It is horrible.
Oh,
Yvonne, you came back.
but not for you, you two-timer. I forgot to pick up my laundry at the bowl and fold next door. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to get a life. I hope you and your newfound happiness will be happy.
Newfound happiness? What newfound happiness?
You know, the one with the classy chassis.
You mean the Toxie cab here?
Your new love is a car?
That's what I tried to tell you, lady.
Huh?
Boys and their toys.
Back at our dump, sweet dump, the battle wasn't going too well.
Sound retreat, men!
I hate to say it, fellas, but it looks like the end of the Toxic Crusaders.
Not so fast, amigos! Scope out who's coming!
Well, dog my cats! It's Toxie Cab!
So that's why he drove off, to bring back our fearless leader, Toxie.
And all this time we thought he was a yellow cab. Toxie, are we glad to see you?
That huge truck is about to crush our shack to smithereens! Whatever smithereens are.
Me and Toxie Cab will handle the truck. You fellas take care of the Radiation Rangers.
It's moments like this that make me proud to be a Toxic Crusader.
Under Toxie's inspired leadership, how can we lose? It's moments like this that make me proud to work with Dr. Kill-'em-Off.
Under his inspired leadership, how can we lose?
Aha! It's weeds we need.
Cowabunga!
Toxic Crusaders rule!
Dr. Kill-'em-Off was pretty upset about losing his truck.
You bubble-brained idiots! Losing a Crusader Crusher is nothing to be sneezed at!
Sorry, boss.
Gazoon time!
We're the Toxic Crusaders, oh, we're the Toxic Crusaders, oh, we're the Toxic Crusaders. Of that we're pretty sure of. Pretty sure.